Hello everyone, it is your host, Seth the Programmer, and today I will be bringing you an all-new what-if scenario for Dragon Ball Super. What if Goku and Vegeta fused into Gogeta instead of Vegito when they fought Merged Zamasu? There is spoilers in this. If you guys haven't seen episode 66 or read the preview for episode 67, I'd recommend doing that before watching this video, but if you don't care about spoilers, then go ahead and view this. So a few things we should bring up about Vegito recently. Episode 66 is finally finished of Dragon Ball Super, and everyone was a bit disappointed, but it looks like I was right that Vegito defused in his fight with Zamasu. I predicted this in my last video, which I used episode 67 spoilers to use, and it looks like I was right. Vegito did defuse. It honestly seemed as though he didn't even remain fused for like fucking 10 minutes. I think someone counted he had like 9 minutes like screen time maybe. He just it was really redundant. The entire episode was just plot based. It was really plot induced stupidity, but it was badass. It was pretty sick to see him again. Not only does he now have a new weakness of beings other than the Kaioshin using the Patara can only remain fused for an hour bullshit, but he now has the weakness that if he uses up too much power, he'll defuse. It's similar to the plot point in Dragon Ball GT. I know I'm bringing up Dragon Ball GT, but come on, this is a Gogeta video. You know, Gogeta's in GT and in non-canon movies. He's not exactly canon, so we're bringing up GT here. So it's similar to like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and GT, like whose fusion timer was decreased from like the standard like 30 minutes to 10 minutes due to using Super Saiyan 4, which required a drastic portion of power to like maintain or something. It was just a plot point so he could use the universal spirit bomb, which is somewhat ironic that Trunks used a spirit bomb in the episode. Spoilers. Now, a good bit of people wanted Gogeta to appear instead of Vegito, and despite the fusion fan base being highly aggressive and hostile, whether it be concerning Gogeta or Vegito, I decided to do this video to answer your questions regardless. So I expect a lot of negativity and controversy no matter who I side with on this matter. There's gonna be some people salty. Now, I'm going to be straight up. I do not think much of anything would have actually changed regardless of whether it was Vegito or Gogeta fighting Zamasu, but there are some things to keep in mind, and indeed numerous hypotheticals you need to keep in mind here when, you know, calculating all of this. For one, Vegito is simply stronger than Gogeta. I know, you've already clicked that dislike button for me saying that, but at least hear me out on this, okay? Toei Animation, the guys that animated and wrote both of Gogeta's appearances and debuts in both Fusion Reborn and in GT, both non-canon, because Gogeta is non-canon. Remember, any Gogeta you've actually seen is written by Toei. So they wrote Gogeta both times in these non-canon things. Now, they've also wrote guides to tell us how strong Gogeta is compared to Goku. And we've also seen guides, you know, approved by Toriyama that tell us how strong Vegito is compared to Goku. So yes, we do actually know, like with concrete numbers, who's stronger. So Toei Animation literally has told us on their website and in their GT Perfect files and Dragon Arena guides that Gogeta is tens to dozens of times stronger than Goku. Now, tens to dozens means like 24 through 96. It's not above 100 times. If it was above 100 times difference, they would have said hundreds of times stronger, but they said dozens of times. They also said tens of times in one, which is also less than hundreds. But here, let me just read exactly what they said about Gogeta so you can see for yourself. A warrior with no equal. Born from the fusion of Goku and Vegeta, he has red hair and a character a bit childish. He can defeat Omega Shenlong only with one finger. His strength is dozens of times more powerful than a normal Super Saiyan 4. He can shoot an extraordinary shot, which is a mix of the Big Bang attack with the Kamehameha wave. So as you can see, yes, Gogeta is dozens or tens of times greater than Goku. However, Vegito, as we discussed a second ago, as confirmed in the Daizenshu, Akira Toriyama's officially approved guidebook of Dragon Ball, states Vegito, without even going Super Saiyan, is stronger than Super Saiyan 3. Meaning Vegito is over 400 times stronger than Goku. Don't even get me started on the other guides that imply he's like billions of times. But for now, we're just going to say he's stronger than Super Saiyan 3, as the Daizenshu states. Meaning he's over 400 times Goku, and while Gogeta is like 96 to like 100 times at absolute best, even the old Kai implies that the earrings are superior to the fusion dance in terms of power and of, you know, longevity. And even Super Buu Gohan Absorbed is like, yo, if Goku and Vegeta use the fusion dance, they still can't beat me. Yet Vegito could beat Super Buu. Now, these are just side things, but the guidebooks themselves gives these concrete numbers, 496. So Vegito at absolute bare minimum versus Gogeta's absolute bare strongest is still 4 times stronger. You just have to accept it. It's fact. That's a factual calculation. There's no opinion involved. I took the guy that tells us how strong Gogeta is. I took the guy that tells us how strong Vegito is, lowballed Vegito. I made Vegito weaker than he should be, and made Gogeta his absolute pinnacle of strength, and Vegito is still 4 times stronger. So please keep that in mind when you're, discussing Vegito versus Gogeta down below. Vegeta's still more badass though, I'm not gonna lie. But how would Gogeta fighting Zamasu change the series? Well, Gogeta is slightly different than Vegito, despite, being pretty much the same person. They do have some differences. He was somewhat different moves despite being the same person, and when he takes things seriously, he can absolutely demolish anything in his path. If you've seen Gogeta versus Janemba, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He gets shit done when he's serious. Now, one thing you should know about Vegito versus Zamasu is that Vegito was massively above Zamasu when he first showed up, like when they first fused, being able to tank his attack with one arm without flinching, just laughing at him. But the fight dragged on. Vegito, despite being somewhat more serious in this fight, he was still a little bit goofy. Like, he definitely wasn't going all out like, Gogeta did versus Janemba, per se. So Zamasu was just far too durable, really, for Vegito just to finish off by fucking around. He should have just went all out from the start, but he didn't, because that's who Vegito is. So Zamasu was just far too durable. And after draining himself with the final Kamehameha, someone brought this up, Vegito did use his full power final Kamehameha to try to finish Zamasu off, but it looked like Zamasu had finally adapted to Vegito's powers and was able to take it. And then after the final Kamehameha, Vegito, obviously lost some power, right? He used his full power, drained himself a little bit, and then Vegito found himself getting slapped on the ground and even getting, pinned down at some points. And he even resorted to, sneak attacking Zamasu with his Spirit Sword. However, it looked like Vegito still had some fight in him, and that Zamasu, while growing more and more powerful, was also getting damaged gradually. And Vegito got the upper hand on him, and then suddenly defused, and then got fucking bodied. Like, oh man, everyone face palmed when Vegito defused and then just got bodied. But you could also argue that when Zamasu increased his size, his speed kind of decreased, kind of like Cell versus Gohan. Like, he increased his power, but like his speed started decreasing because of his mass. So, and Vegito does note that now he's too faster for Zamasu, despite, Zamasu being able to, tag him numerous times before. But the big thing to note here is that Vegito was already above Zamasu when he first fused. Zamasu simply adapted to him, like some Goku Black kind of level adaptation, and they gradually just kind of wore each other out as Vegito, wasn't really taking it all too seriously the entire time, and Zamasu was just gradually getting stronger. Now, initial Purple Fusion Zamasu had adapted to an amped Kaioken Zenkai Goku, who literally rocked his fucking world. So it's not far off to say Gogeta, who is the equivalent of Goku almost going Kaioken times 100, would be stronger than fused Zamasu. But here's the thing, with Gogeta only being so much stronger and with his lessened time limit, he would take things far less lightly than Vegito did. We may even see a Janemba versus Gogeta round 2. And if that were the case, Zamasu would have no time to adapt to Gogeta. And Gogeta could even sweep him with the Stardust Breaker, which could, eliminate or obliterate all evil essence in Zamasu's soul. Then what happens from there is honestly up to your interpretation. Would it kill him? Would it make him a good guy? Who knows? But if Gogeta blitzed Zamasu, didn't give him any time to adapt, didn't fuck around at all, just came at him like he did Janemba, fucked him up, threw a Stardust Breaker, and obliterated all the evil in his soul, things would probably be a lot different than if Vegito came in. Despite Vegito even being stronger than Gogeta, I don't even think it would matter. However, that scenario, which is a Gogeta fan's dream, if Gogeta just came in and Stardust Breaked with Zamasu. However, that's only if we underestimate Zamasu. I'm going to be honest, Zamasu is a lot stronger than I just, mentioned. There's also this chance that Zamasu is simply suppressing himself due to him feeling like this godlike ego and and feeling like using his full power on Goku or them was just simply beneath him. Because, if you remember, even Goku Black was like as strong as Goku and Vegeta was. Yet, Goku by himself is able to take out fused Zamasu, which makes absolutely no sense at all. It's almost like Zamasu got weaker from fusing, which is absolutely redundant. So, it definitely appeared Zamasu was suppressing himself because he felt it was beneath him to use any of his actual power on them. By the way, he also thought he was immortal the entire time until like the end of their fight, really. Until Vegito really had to like egg it on, like, hey, you're not immortal anymore. And he's like, oh shit, I'm not, but I don't really care, right? Now, if he really was suppressing himself and he was like, oh, you know, Goku, Vegeta, they're all beneath me, I can just suppress them myself, so I'm a fucking immortal, I have nothing to worry about, then Gogeta would probably find himself on the losing end of this fight, especially if he doesn't take it absolutely serious and catch him off guard. Gogeta could also, I mean, use Kaioken as well as Zamasu was really stronger if you were really at that much of like of a disadvantage and had to. But as we've seen with Vegito, even just using normal Super Saiyan Blue, that would drastically decrease his fusion time. And speaking of that, wouldn't Gogeta's fusion last even less time than Vegito's already drastically short fusion time? So the chances of Gogeta winning are honestly extremely low. But like I said, it is possible. Don't get your head down in the dumps. It's possible Gogeta might be able to kill him if you look at it certain ways. If Gogeta and Zamasu are close in power and Gogeta goes for the kill right off the bat, taking advantage of Zamasu's cockiness, Gogeta probably could win. So in my opinion, I see that it wouldn't really change much in comparison to Vegito. Zamasu would probably win the fight regardless, but it wouldn't really matter because, well, more spoilers, Trunks beats Zamasu in the end with his like Genki Dama Bankai Spirit Sword, regardless of whether or not Vegito or Gogeta defeats him in the end. So it doesn't even matter. So my last comments on the matter, Gogeta can win. If Merged Zamasu is caught off guard while suppressing himself and slammed by a Stardust Breaker and nullified, then this is possible. Even Goku could damage Zamasu when Zamasu was caught off guard and holding back as he thought he was above using his full power. And then Goku literally like obliterated half his body, like he fucked him up entirely. So when Zamasu's holding back, he is vulnerable. But Gogeta would more than likely be less optimal to use in this situation than Vegito, as it's very possible he's much weaker than Merged Zamasu or Berserk Zamasu, and his fusion time would be far less than Vegito's. Although I guess you could also argue that since Vegito is stronger, that perhaps it would require less energy for Gogeta to exist, so maybe Gogeta's fusion time would be normal, although it's really hard to say. But regardless, let's not fight over this. I know 100% how disgusting Gogeta and Vegeta almost always turns into a shitstorm, but let's try to be logical here. What do you guys think would happen? What do you guys think would happen if Gogeta hit Zamasu with, say, a Stardust Breaker? Would it purify his soul, kill him, or maybe just not affect him at all? Let me know. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and other than that, till next time.